what's next? How are you currently doing? Do you have plans to expand? Are you gonna stay in Orlando? Go back to California? The kids are a little older now. Like, what is your faith? Where are you being led? What is God leading you to now? Is God like, hey, Brad, your feet planted, you made it. Enjoy the Holy Land. What's next for you?
Yeah. I don't know if it ever gets to that point, but definitely. I mean, my sister used to always joke. She's like, "What's your 5-year plan? What's your 5-year plan?" Well, when I moved to Eastern North Carolina to buy that firm, that was like a 50-year plan.
Right.
I will tell you, I don't make 50-year plans anymore because God did change that one. So I'm like, okay, I will still make plans, but I hold them loosely with open hands in case, I feel led in a different direction. And so that's kind of what I've always done. Now, I will say our kids have transitioned a ton. They're 11, 13, and 15. North Carolina to California, California to Florida, different school within Florida, different home within Florida. So they've had a ton of transition. And one of the things that we're just excited about now is just letting them kind of get steady, right? Like we're not doing anything huge unless we do really feel led to do something different. But don't at the moment. And, feel like this is where we're at. I mean, this is, again, so much more into kind of the full circle of coming back into taxes too. There's just a whole piece there about how God did that in our lives. And so that piece of it, but yeah, I've added some help. I've got a seasonal full-time employee. My brother works for me full-time now. My sister is most likely, I'm expecting to come on full-time in January for next tax season and then be full-time year-round like my brother. So it'll be me, my sister, my brother. That's all of us. And it's really cool to be able to work together. We get along really well. We're in different places. She's in North Carolina. He's in South Carolina. I'm in Florida. So we got the East Coast covered, at least the southern part of it, and not all the way up to you yet, Will. But doing that, it's enjoyable, right? And we're helping people that I like to work with. And so that's kind of where we're at now. We've got 375 1040 clients. We've got about 40 business clients. The vast majority of those, like 36, 7, 8 of them, S corporations, which is what I like to work with. And they're all in kind of the professional service-based business, small, not necessarily small in revenue, but small in terms of like operation, right? It's them, maybe an employee or two, maybe a spouse or so. And, this particular, calendar year 2025 will cross over $400,000 in gross revenue. And so, I intentionally slowed growth. We've gotten very picky with the clients we take on, which just makes the work more enjoyable. I do kind of feel that sometimes you're like, man, I just kind of wish I could help everyone, but you can't. And so it's like you start to help the people you can really help and get a little bit more picky when you can. And so that's where the tax practice is. And it's in an awesome spot. My brother and sister are going to start taking on their own clients and everything. They both, my brother got his enrolled agent, so he's EA, and my sister's 2/3 of the way through, about to pass the third piece of that. And so she'll have her EA too. And then we basically just collaboratively work on stuff. Like we look at each other's returns and stuff. Again, the way that I learned how to do it, right? We're looking at each other's stuff. I've got the most experience, so I'm overseeing their work at this point too. But yeah, it's a collaborative effort to get the best value to our clients that we can get. And so that piece is awesome. This whole coaching mentor thing for firm owners, I fell backwards into this stuff by accident. I was reading, I think the book is called like A Company of One. And I had been posting on LinkedIn. I kind of realized that most of the people engaging with me were financial planners and other accountants. And, I saw some other people like Logan Graff and, Jason Stats and people like that who were, sharing their story. And it was like, yeah, so I posted like one post about my stuff and like, man, it got so much engagement. And I was like, wow. And so then I was like, well, I'm willing to share. Like I'm willing to like share my story too. So I posted some other stuff and got a lot of engagement. Well, then over Christmas in 2024, I was at my parents' house for Christmas, laying on the couch, and I posted something on LinkedIn. I checked it a couple hours later and it like blown up. And so then I was like, well, who would be interested in like this like small group like coaching? Because you see communities online and you see the YouTube videos and stuff, but there's not much where you can get the face-to-face live with someone who's done it. And I even had one guy tell me like, you're doing small group coaching, like good luck, like have fun with that. Like no one else is wanting to do that. It's not like, yeah. So a lot of people aren't willing to do that piece of it. I like talking to people. I end up going way over on most of my coaching calls with what I said I was going to spend time on because I'm just having fun talking to the person, and the fact that they'll pay me to do it is even better. And so it's kind of like that first kind of small group had 8 people in it. We went from January to April. We met twice a month. And then there was also, they could submit tax returns. I'd look them over and give them my feedback or answer questions about the tax returns to kind of give them that second set of eyes, because when you're on your own to begin with, you don't have that. And so that was kind of like the pilot test for this, and just really liked it. And so it's like, all right, well, let me continue to see where this will go. So it is a revenue line item on my P&L, but it's like $15,000. You know, it's nothing to write home about, nothing that's going to replace my tax. I don't even want it. Someone asked me that on LinkedIn the other day, like, would you go full-time into coaching if it takes off? If it gets to the point where the demand is that high, I have no intentions of doing that. I like the tax work. I want to keep doing the tax work. And so I might do less of that as my brother and my sister are doing more, but I'm always going to be involved in that. That's always going to be a good chunk of what I'm doing because I enjoy it. And then I just kind of hope that, you know, this is enough to where I can coach some people one-on-one, small group. I got a large group, videos for free, and just help people kind of take that next step like I did, and help them figure out their best way to do it. Right. Like I don't, it's not like here's a copy paste, like, because I don't believe, you know, like I posted about this too, like, what works for you, Will, isn't going to work for every video producer. You have your own network. You've got your own experience. You've got your own personality. Like, what works for you isn't going to work. Like, it's like a recipe. You know, if you're missing one of my ingredients, that recipe might fail for you. But let's find the recipe that works for you. And so it's harder to explain a lot of times. It doesn't sell as well, to be honest with you, even though I think it should sell better. If you get like here's a plug and play, here's what I did, just do what I did, and you simplify it, right? Because people want simple, easy answers, right? If you simplify it for people, it's going to sell really well. I don't think it's going to have the sustainability though. So what I try to do is I try to draw out of people like, okay, what is the stuff you can take from me and use it and learn from it and tweak it, and then take from other people. Go to the other people that are doing the same stuff. Get all the information you can, and then piece together your own Frankenstein firm of what works for you, right? And that I think is what's going to make you most successful.
Yeah, I mean, because also that step by step doesn't really work because you have different interests, right? Like someone out there might really love editing but hate hosting. I love hosting, and I don't particularly love editing. Like I do like editing, but those kind of like flashy things you see on LinkedIn or TikTok or YouTube Shorts with the B-roll and the popped up captions and the effects, it's like I can't do that, so I hire out to do that, and I focus on what I really like, which is the pre-production, planning, and actual using the software I'm using and telling the story. Right, that's kind of what I like. So if I gave someone a step by step of what I did, they might go, "But I like doing this," or they might like the coaching. They might really like the tax prep. They might hate working with their brother, right? So,
yeah, right. Yeah.
So like step by step, this could be a nightmare.
And there's things like this too, where, you know, it's like marketing, right? Like I resonate with the story brand marketing. There are things out there. There's marketing tactics that I don't like. They're not unethical. They're not illegal. I just don't like them. I couldn't do them and feel good about it laying my head down at night. Now, again, that sounds kind of like other people shouldn't be doing them either because they're wrong. That's not true. It just doesn't hit right with me, right? But it's not like judgment on someone who uses it, because it's a fine marketing and it works. But I'm not going to use it, because even if I did use it saying this works, let me use it. If I don't believe it, it's not going to work for me, even though it is a great marketing tactic. And so you've got to, and that's where I talk about like pricing and stuff too. Like, you've got to be confident. If someone else tells you should charge $1,500 for a 1040, but you just can't do it right now, you shouldn't, because you're never going to sell a $1,500 1040 if you don't believe that you should be selling a $1,500 1040. You know, if you believe it should be worth $300, maybe stretch yourself to $400 and start to move in that direction. But you can only sell what you believe in.
Yeah. All right. And then for the course, you've been doing this a few months. What kind of people have you worked with? Meaning, like, your kind of ideal your ideal aspiring CPA. Is it like a young man fresh out of college, 24 years old? or like a woman in her 40s who's looking to lead the corporate life. So kind of draw out a picture for me who your ideal CPA that you want to work with in this course, who you want to coach. Who are those people?
Yeah, that's great. And that's where, even in my tax practice, I don't hyper niche, right? Like some people are like, I do dentists who make $200,000 to $500,000. I've never done that. I more niche on personality and kind of, that piece of it, kind of what they're looking for. And so it kind of, this isn't fully thought out yet because, like I said, I kind of fell backwards into this coaching thing. So it's playing it by ear and seeing how it goes. But what I find is the people who resonate with me are the people who want that connection, right? They don't necessarily like the communities are valuable. I'm in one as well, and there's a lot of value there. But the people who are like, okay, I'm gonna actually go with Brad for this, and they might be in the communities too, is because they want this personal connection, right? Like they want to be face to face. They want to have live interaction. They want to talk and get the real me, right? Like if I'm doing something, this is me. I'm just going to talk to you the way that I am because that's how I am. And you're going to get dumb stuff and you're going to get good stuff, right? And I'm going to tell you what you're doing is dumb or whatever. I'm going to talk to you like you're my sibling, right? And so people who enjoy the way I give advice, they're that. And so that's why I put a ton of stuff out there on LinkedIn, because you get a feel for me and you can be like, okay, I like how he's doing this. I like the angle he's coming at it from. It is CPAs and EAs. It's not really uncredentialed, and not that they can't be good at what they do. It's just, that's not who I'm really going for or who's coming to me either. And so, CPA, EA, it's the people who are about to launch or probably have recently launched. So someone in like I haven't started yet, so I got zero revenue, up to like 100,000 in revenue maybe. So again, like I said, I'm at 400. So it's pretty much anyone that I can take from where they're at and they want to get to like where I am, right? They want to get to 500,000 a year, or they want to go from 0 to 100 or 100 to 200 or 100 to 500. Like those are the things I've done. Those are the things that I'm good at talking about and can say, here's what my experience is, and you can learn from that. And so those are the people I can deliver the most value to. So I'm kind of working through it with you right here, Will, because you asked me. I thought about it a little bit too, but it's not super polished or anything. But yeah, it's those aspiring, about to be, and early in their firm career. They're looking for like, hey, what processes are you using? What tech are you using? What have you found to work in terms of pricing? How do you price? So they're answering those questions. I mean, they might have already been doing it themselves, but they're trying to improve upon it too. And age range, that piece doesn't matter. It's more kind of that mindset of like, okay, I like the way Brad talks about this stuff. I like how he does it. I want to learn from him, kind of things he's done. And I'm learning from them too. I mean, it's not like, hey, I've got all the answers for you, right? It's like, this isn't like come to me and get like, again, like I said, it's not come to me, get the script that's going to make it perfect. It's come to me and we're going to work through this together. That's what coaching is we're working through it together so that you improve and get some other ideas and what you can move forward on. So yeah, people open to that type of thing is really who it's for.
Absolutely. And Brad, we'll finish this off. The best way for people to reach you, how they can get in touch with you, and how they can learn more information about you, your story, ask any questions, sign up for your course, let them have it.
Yeah. So this one is geared really towards the tax firm owners. And so, WootenCPA.com, that's my regular website for like the tax work. But for this, it'd be WootenCPACoaching.com. And so that's going to be where you kind of see the coaching pieces of it and what I offer there. And then of course, connecting with me. Most of the people are finding me on LinkedIn. So Brad Wooten, CPA, on LinkedIn, you can find me there.